Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Dear students, let us learn how to use factorization to solve a quadratic equation. The procedure is very simple. Multiply first term with the last term and write it on one side. We have 2x square, and then write the middle term, which is minus 3x. In the next step, we need to find two factors such that when we multiply those factors, we get 2x square. And if we add those two factors or subtract those two factors, we get minus 3x. For the time being, just ignore the variable. We need two numbers whose product is 2, and if we add or subtract, we get minus 3. Those two numbers always exist in the prime multiple of 2. So the prime multiples of 2 are 2 and 1. So those numbers are 2 and 1. Now you can see if I write minus here and minus here. If you add minus 2 and minus 1, we get minus 3. And if we multiply minus 2 with minus 1, we get plus 2. So those numbers are minus 2x and minus 1x. And now let us see how to solve this quadratic equation. Write the first term as it is. And for minus 3x, now we need to write those factors. Minus 2x minus x, and write the constant term as it is. Take common from the first two terms. The common is x. So we have x minus 2 here. Now take common from the last two terms. We get minus 1 as common, so that in the bracket we get the same factor x minus 2. Now x minus 2 is common, so take it outside, and the remainder is x minus 1 equal to 0. Then just substitute x minus 2 equal to 0, and then x minus 1 equal to 0. From the first one, we have x is equal to 2, which is the required solution. And from the last one, we get x is equal to 1, which is another solution. So we have two values of x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 2. That's all. Let us solve this quadratic equation by factorization. The procedure is same. Multiply first term with the last term and write it on one side. That is 6x square. Then write the middle term here, which is 1x. Now find two factors such that when we multiply those factors, we get minus 6x square. And if we add or subtract, we get 1x. For the time being, just ignore the variable. We need to find minus 6 and 1. So find two numbers whose multiplication is minus 6. And if we add or subtract, we get 1. We can find those numbers in the multiple of minus 6. The prime multiple of 6 are 2 and 3, because 2 3s are is 6. So those numbers are 2 and 3. But now how to get minus 6 from the multiplication and plus 1 when we add them? In that case, we put minus with 2 and plus with 3. So now minus 2 plus 3. When we add them, we get plus 1x. If we multiply minus 2 with plus 3, we get minus 6x minus 6. So now just put x with them, and those numbers are 3x and minus 2x. So now we can factorize this equation. Write the first term as it is, and then write plus 3x minus 2x, and the last term constant as it is. Take common from the first two terms. The common is 3x, So we have 2x plus 1 and take common from the last two terms. So the common is minus 1. We have 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Now 2x plus 1 is common factor. So we have 2x plus 1. Then here we have 3x minus 1 equal to 0. From this we get 2x plus 1 equal to 0. And from the other we get 3x minus 1 equal to 0. From this we get 2x is equal to minus 1, and when we simplify we get x is equal to minus 1 over 2. So that is the first solution. And then from this one we get 3x is equal to plus 1. If we divide by 3 we get 1 over 3. So x is equal to 1 over 3 is the second solution of the given quadratic equation. Now we can solve any quadratic equation by using the same procedure. Let us multiply the first term with the last term and write it here on one side, which is 20x square, and write the middle term here, which is 9x. Now we need to find two factors, let us say two numbers. When we multiply those numbers, we get 20, and if we add or subtract those numbers, we get 9. We can find those numbers in the multiple of 20. Let us find the prime multiples of 20. So the prime multiples of 20, the simplest number on which we can divide 20 is 2. 2 tens are is 20. Again we can divide by 2. 2 fives are is 10, and then we can divide 5 with 1. So those numbers are 2, 2, 5 and 1. We can change the order and find those numbers. Let us multiply 2 with 2. 2 twos are is 4. We write it here, and 5 here. Now we can see if we add 4 with 5, we get 9. And if we multiply 4 with 5, we get 20. So those two numbers are 4x and 5x. And now let us see the solution. Write the first term as it is, 2x squared. Then write our factors, which is 5x, the bigger one. Then plus 4x and constant term as it is, equal to 0. From the first two, let us take common, which is x. So the remainder here is now 2x plus 5. And now we need to take common from the last two terms. The common factor is 2 here. So we have x plus 5 equal to 0. Now from this we can take 2x plus 5 as common. So we have x plus 2 equal to 0. And now from here 2x plus 5 is equal to 0, or x plus 2 is equal to 0. From the first one we get 2x is equal to minus 5, and if we divide both sides by 2 we get minus 5 by 2. So that is the first solution, that x is equal to minus 5 by 2. And from the second factor we get x is equal to minus 2. That is the second solution of this quadratic equation. That's all.